What the devil is going on? Where are our reinforcements? Why does Willem not ride out to face the foe, relieve besieged towns?
I can't say, Your Grace. We haven't had a single scroll from the Prince.
Gods be damned. I've the impression I'm alone in fighting the Blackclads.
Beware, my lady. Keep a keen watch. Heard the thunder of hooves from the high road. Cries ferocious enough. Your Majesty, what of Prince Willem? We died omens. We don't...
Meve's retinue was riding through a narrow gully when a shrill cry cut the air.
And then in order!
The gully came alive, and soldiers in black armor rushed forth. A cry in turn went up and down Meve's ranks. Ambush!
Defensive formation!
152, 154. Again and again and again. Scrubbing duty again? Oh, gods.
Armor wars.
Ours is not to reason lie.
Off to the front yet again.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Quiet! The Commissar will hear. This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads. Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am. Rach! Scheiß! In Tray! My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Keep calm, Tiberius.
One boat you will need. Give me a time.
Off to the front yet again.
Company! Forward march!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow.
Left, right, left, right.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
A highly curious case.
I want them taken alive! I need answers!
After the skirmish, the Queen's troops brought several Nilfgaardian prisoners before her. Reynard, who had the best command of their mongrel tongue, interrogated. His first question? How many battalions were marching on Dravograd?
Kes, Zagdran, Ep, Dravograd, Ven.
The prisoners whispered feverishly, then one spoke on their behalf. They would answer no questions until the Queen pledged to free them in return. The Lyrian soldiers saw this as arrogance, and said as much.
Conditions they're giving us now? Sons of whores! I say, we find a tree with a strong bough, several...
I know not the custom in Nilfgaard, but here in the north, the vanquished do not make demands.
Meve gazed at the prisoners.
Since you do not wish to speak, you shall remain forever silent. Ready a rope!
That day, Meve demonstrated she would show the invaders no mercy. The Lyrians marched off, strengthened in their resolve, prepared to fight to the death.
Blackclads trampled my son, your majesty. They saw him walking along the road. He didn't slow, not one bit. My lady, I've nae much, but I'll gladly give me last coin for the cause.
can try to win them all, but you won't.
Pays late. Again.
I'm a warrior. My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. Can't take it anymore. There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die. Aye.
An army's a waste of time for one like me. Left, right, left, right.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads. Give me a time.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Arbalest at your command.
Again and again and again.
Meve and company passed by a village evidently pillaged by the Nilfgaardians. From afar they had heard cries, but as they drew near they recognized them not as cries of grief, but as cursing, cries of anger.
Give him a proper walloping, the scoundrel!
Mercy, good folk! I've done nothing wrong!
The villagers stood gathered near the hamlet's center, surrounding an elf, bloodied and cowering. Stones in hand, the peasants threatened and cursed him. The queen demanded an explanation. A ruddy-faced blacksmith stepped forth and spit.
A Nilfgaardian spy the horse and is, your majesty. He's the one brought him here to raise the village. He's gotta hang.
The other villagers agreed with the smith. The elf fell at the queen's feet and groveled.
Have mercy, Renner. Save your loyal subject. They lie! They fault me only as I am an elf.
Whence this certainty of his guilt? Have you any proof?
Asked Meve.
Did anyone see him communing with the foe? Did he hold any coin with a foreign stamp?
The villagers eyed Meve angrily, their hands clenched into fists. Yet none dared utter a word in protest.
Know this. The Blackclads need no reason to pillage our homes. Now stand aside and let this wretch go.
The elf tearfully thanked the queen, then begged her not to leave him behind. Instead, he pleaded vehemently to join her retinue.
Your most noble grace, please, I beg you. As soon as you're gone, the Dwan will hang me from the nearest tree.
To stop a lynching was one thing. It was another to admit one of uncertain reputation into her ranks. So she denied the elf's request. Yet he sought still to persuade her.
Your grace, you know I shall surely die here should I remain.
Then pack your belongings and move on, sir,
said the queen, swatting aside the elf's hands raised in supplication.
No more can I do for you.
The elf was unhappy with the queen's decision, this was clear. But he had sense enough to keep his tongue. Soon after, he left the hamlet, a bundle on his back, barking dogs and peasant oaths at his heels.
I swear it, your majesty. The elf was scheming with the Blackclads. The gods be witnesses. I swear it, your majesty.
this, Nilfgaardians. You'll not defeat the gods. They fear not your torches. They fear not your swords. Blasphemers, pagans, idolic. Curse you, sons of Nilfgaard. Remember this.
So many armed men in my life, and each one in black plate and winged elm. Heard them Nilfgaardians got hearts of stone. No, reinforcements from the capital, milady. Where are... Heard them Nilfgaardians.
A dark shadow suddenly cut across the sky. The Queen instinctively brought her shield up, convinced a Nilfgaardian catapult had lobbed a boulder their way. But when the boulder landed in the road ahead, it smashed into splinters and proved an empty barrel.
This is what they cast at us. Barrels. Is this some jest?
Well, they're not known for their sense of humor, the Nilfgaardians,
answered Reynard. Meve stood in her stirrups, squinted, peered into the distance, and let out a hearty chortle. For the barrel had been loosed by neither catapult nor trebuchet, but by a rock troll consumed by fury. And what? A company of Nilfgaardian soldiers had pitched camp by the cave the troll called home.
Troll or non-troll?
Said the Queen, drawing her sword.
None deserve to die at Nilfgaard's hands. Follow me!
Essayant to the Navian!
Protect the troll!
Can't take it anymore. Wise choice. Is mine now.
Your Grace, the troll, it's a bit unpredictable.
Nilfgaard!
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
Retreat!
Give me a time.
Left, right, left, right.
Dericania! Source of the best goods.
Aye. Arbalista, your command.
That will do.
Armor ones.
Ah! This one's got spirit.
We must trust each other.
Ah, should have listened to me old lady.
Humans good do. Soup help.
The Lyrians smashed the Nilfgaardian force. The troll, having grown suddenly pensive, gazed and picked at the invaders' corpses.
Clad in blacks, humans. No good humans.
Just so, Sir Troll. The Nilfgaardians are a devious lot. Our land they've attacked most treacherously.
Clad in blacks, humans hard. Why no good humans? Big lot armor. You got to. Try morsel of human, you wish?
Do you know to whom you speak? This is Her Majesty, your queen.
Greeting your queen. Soup is me.
There, Reynard. I believe I can manage this. Say, Shoop, you've quite the stockpile of kegs. Do you engage in custom, perhaps?
No. Kegs good for smash when Soup angry gets. But costume engaging. That what mean?
It means... well, to trade one thing for another. At a profit.
One thing for other. For glitter rocks, even.
Yes, if you play your cards right, you might just convince someone to pay you in rocks.
Cards, kegs, trade, glitter rocks. Soup plan got. Soup gotta go. A 4 human go, Soup human give. Your queen aid give, your queen aid get.
The troll turned on his heel and ran out of his cave, his destination known only to himself. As she moved to leave, a hunch told Meve the world would yet hear of this troll named Shoop.
Look at the palisades. The machines of war. Too many to count.
I cannot fathom it. Has Nilfgaard sent all its forces into Lyria?
No, your grace. But a single army.
Gods protect us.
The queen uttered a juicy curse. Dravagrad stood before them, Nilfgaardians all round it. 3, perhaps 4 battalions of armored infantry. Arbalists and cavalry behind them. Trebuchet volleys had punched holes in the walls, while battering rams had twisted the main gate open. But elsewise, the city was mere moments from falling to the foe.
Doomed! We stand not a chance. Nilfgaard outnumbers us twofold. More!
Then our men must put double the spirit into the fight. Double the heart. Lyria!
Emboldened by their valiant queen and commander, the Lyrians charged headlong at Nilfgaard's lines into a hail of bolts and arrows.
Attack! Rid this city of all black-clad filth!
Your grace, I see the commander. We must train our efforts on him.
Again and again and again.
There, gloire!
Got any vendors? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
For Rivia!
An army's a waste of time for one like me.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, a time to die. I'm a won't say.
Left, right, left, right.
tell me you jest.
A lesson in humility coming now.
Give me a target.
They retreat! Your Majesty, the city's ours!
The Nilfgaardians fled in panic, abandoning war machines, shields and arms, even their wounded. The defenders rejoiced. They laughed boisterously, and cries of delight and chanting could be heard all around. "Warrior Queen!" they shouted. "Meve! Meve! Meve!"
Hear that, your grace?
I do. No sound rings more lovely to a ruler's ear. Yet rest on our laurels we cannot. Caldwell, the situation in the town, what can you tell me?
Wall breached. Thrice. 400 wounded, near 1,000 without roofs over their heads. All nothing compared to the grain stores. Went up in smoke during the siege. And it's some time yet afore the harvest. Your Grace, the war's just begun, I know. All coins should bolster the army, yet if we leave the folk of Dravograd no gold, there will be hunger, with all the attendant discord.
The drought of 1258 I remember all too well. I saw famine, what it drives folk to do, the extremes. A strong army I need desperately, yet not at all costs. The townsfolk need gold to survive till the harvest. Count how much, then give it to the garrison commander.
As you command, Your Grace?
The battle we've won, there's just the war that remains. And Nilfgaard will strike again, doubt it not. We must move on. Caldwell, ride ahead to Lyria. My son must call a gathering of the Council of Peers. Tell him so. We'll have much to discuss. Reynard and I will follow with the troops. We shall seek out any Nilfgaardian stragglers, prevent them from rejoining the main force.
Meve's two adjutants bowed and left the Queen to think. She was hungry, sore from the fight, spent. Yet sensing her soldiers' eyes upon her, she set off for the stable, her gait brisk, her head held high.
Thought 'twas certain as snow comes with winter. Kings and emperors fight. Leave the common folk to tidy up. Your Majesty, you saved us, and not a moment too soon. From death, we'd live neath no